How are we doing, folks? Moving on a little bit further with the wiring. So did some drawings with we did our original design, so I transposed it into CAD and obviously checked that everything looked good. I was quite happy, so I used this then as the master. So just looking at the bike, I've got a few bits on now. Let's start with the longest cable runs. So there we've got our alternator output going up the spine, and if we come round the other side, this was our from the pulses from the two little inductive coils off the spinning magnets. It's going to get the CDI to give the spark, so that goes underneath, and that one follows up the down tube around, and then those two end up that's the alternator, and that one's that's the electronic ignition. Yeah, so I used this is 7-core. It's a very good quality cable. It's Lap and Stuttgart, so it's really nice and flexible, and it's 7 cores of really fine stranded, bends lovely, so it should have quite a bit of longevity because of my obtuse steering angle, but I'm going to put some spider locks on that anyway. So that's the 3 running back this way. I was going to try and put the coil up here somewhere, but it was getting a bit busy, so I've left the coil where it is. So now the coil wire joins these and runs back. So I've got the CDI unit there, made this little aluminium platform for this, and underneath, which you probably won't be able to get unless I get the torch, underneath is the rectifier. So I've got it all fairly compact in that space. The reason that stud's a bit long, I was going to fit the cutout relay on there, but the relays they sent are wrong, so eventually when I get the right, this is only there to test, we'll have the mount on it, and that'll mount on there, and I'll cut the excess thread off there. So the earthing point, this lug is welded onto the frame. It's obviously a one-piece frame, not like a C15, so that's a good earth point, so all the earths carry back to that point. Inline fuse on the battery, the backlight we looked at last time, which is the Bonnie Thruxton LED, lovely little lights they are. Then moving up to the front, there's the Tricon switch with the stop, emergency stop, the horn and the dip and main beam. Brake light switch, now I'm not using, there would normally be a brake light switch mounted here that works off the back of the pedal, so when the pedal comes forward it allows a plate to come forward and touch the contacts inside the switch. So I already had the cable which has already got the brake light switch mounted in it, so those cables come out and into the front. Same with the horn, so I kept the horn where I did have it on the back, didn't I think before, or on the side or somewhere, so the horns stay in there. The headlamp's wired in. Unfortunately, even though I could fit a H4 in there, the one that they sent, or the one that I ordered, my LED H4, there's only one filament working on it. There's only the main beam working, the dip's not working, so it's a bit of a disappointment, but that's got to go back. And also, yeah, while we're here, I ordered the relays and they did turn up, and I'm not sure if you're going to catch this because of the light. It's not very well printed on there, but it is a 5-pin relay, but instead of it having a normally open contact and a normally closed, the 87 and 87A, it's got two 87s, so there's no normally closed contact. And the picture, obviously I got these off Fleabay, shows exactly a normally open and a normally closed, and I got 5 of these, so they're definitely going back. So I've got a choice. I can either wait for the return to come for these, but I did have some of these micro relays, and they have a 87 and 87A, but there was no mount, but I did find a base which has got a mount on it, so I might end up, depends how quick they turn up, I might end up using that. Those were the inline fuses that I got, and the headlight, even though it comes with an incandescent, not a H4 obviously, it's just a bayonet type bulb, but it has a H4 mount that goes in to the reflector, so that was really nice, because it's nice to have a H4 LED because you get a bit more power. But at the moment we're on an incandescent just to test everything. So the switch, again, I mean, you know, the information that you get for the logic of the switch, it said that it was, you know, the logic was correct anyway. Absolute rubbish. So I ended up not taking the switch apart, but unsoldering the tails off the back and making the logic correct. So I have off, I have ignition on, and then I have ignition on and lights. And then obviously there's my incandescent bulb, which I can't keep. Well, I could do, but I'm not going to, because it's obviously 65 watts. What's that? Something like, be pulling about 5 amps. So there's the horn, and you might be able to hear the relay clicking. That relay is obviously going to go, because I need one with a mount on it. So that's the cutout. So I'm hoping that it's all going to come good. So I've got the wires roughly placed in, and I did ring it all out first with a meter. Obviously I'm not going to connect it up live without testing the circuits. So I rang everything through first with a meter, it all looked good, and placed everything in. I now powered everything, everything's working, but I just now want to tidy everything up, and I want to put the tank on. I want to put some spiral hooks on here, and because I want this cable to sit nice, because obviously it's going to be doing a lot of back and toing with the steering, and that's, you know, the ugly bit, or the only moving bit of the cable. The rest of the cables on the bike are fixed, and when I build the harness proper and I tape everything back, I've got 2 spare cores as well, so I've got those 2 run all the way down the 7 core. So I'm going to maybe put the buck converter in the bottom of the headlight here, so you can put your hand in and just flick the USB port out to plug in your GoPro or charge your phone up while you're running or whatever's going on. So yeah, it's all coming good. So now I'm just going to cut you loose or switch you off for a second. I'll just finish tidying everything up. I'll fit the tank, and we'll get this steering angle and this with spiral hooks, so it's nice and kind when you go from lock to lock, and let's take it from there. Oh, I haven't tested the brake light switch, which should work. Oh yeah. And is it the right way around? It's not going dimmer when I... No, it is right, isn't it? Yeah. So everything is good up to now. So tank on, tidy the wiring up. We'll do a last quick video, and then the wiring is done. Then it's stripping the bike down for painting, etc. So see you in a sec. How are we doing, folks? Nothing simple. Last few jobs was putting the tank on and checking this cable route, which I'm now very happy with. But I I had this thing and I wasn't going to use it. It's like the toolbox or something they call it, but it's got the Audi clip for the side cover, so I could have cut this off and welded it on the frame, but I thought no. So I've had to move the earth now to a new position up here, and I had to make a new tray. This was further back, mounted between here and one of the oil tank bolts. So I've now to make a new one, which now goes on these two stainless steel P-clamps which hang off the frame. So the new one is a little bit bigger and it sits a little bit further forward, a little bit higher up, which is no problem. So still the same, we've got the regulator rectifier on the bottom, and CDI unit on the top, and when the right relays eventually turn up, that'll go mounted on there or somewhere, so all the components are in one spot. So I know that it's all going to work. I'll just be swapping that over obviously for the right one, moving all my earths now back up to this new position here, and it'll be a job done. So I'll be stripping the bike down to nothing now, and the next one will be when it's all sprayed up and it's back together, and our initial run up after it's all put back for the first time in one lump. So we'll catch you probably in a couple of weeks for that one, because I've got a few jobs on the go as well which people are waiting for. So yeah, see ya shortly.